the Muslims out under the province. If the family is not aware, the Iberian Peninsula is Iberia. That's Spain, Portugal, Italy. These areas right there. The Islamic conquest of the Christian Byzantine kingdom in the 8th century, which began in 1712, extended over almost the entire peninsula, except major parts of Galicia, the Austrian, Bavaria, and the Basque County. After 500 years in the 13th century, the sole remaining Moors ruling was the Nasrid dynasty in the kingdom of Granada. They were defeated in 1492, which brought the entire Iberian Peninsula under Christian rule, thus completing the Reconquista. The Reconquista being of such great duration is much more complex than any simple attempt to provide with the last. Christian and Muslim rulers suddenly became divided among themselves and fought. Alliances across both baselines were not unusual. The fighting along the Christian-Muslim frontier was punctuated by periods of prolonged peace and truces. Bloody matters even further was the mercenaries who simply fought for whoever paid most. The Reconquista was largely completed in 1238, while the sole remaining Muslim state on Iberia, the Emirates of Granada became a vast state of the Christian crown of Castile. This arrangement lasted for 250 years until Castilians launched the Granada War of 1492. Such are the few traces of the celebrated Inquisition of the tribunal, to the mercy of which the most beautiful people in the world was delivered up after the explosion of the war. Unfortunately for the Spaniards, the policy of Ferdinand and his immediate successors went hand in hand with the mistaken policy of modern day orders. Both alike are concerned in maturing and letting loose upon the world a monster far more deformed, far more frightful than Gordon, Hydra, and Chimers died. Talking about what was unleashed into the world after they reconquered Spain from the Moors. Because like I said, that was the beginning of their bloodlust. They got their swords wet with that. Once they got that taste of blood, there was no stopping it. And that practice, that war practice, you fight for 800 years and see what that does to your war status rebuild. This here is a paper bull that was found by the Pope, which basically divided the world among Spain and Portugal, because there was a war that was a result of them fighting between the two, between Spain and Portuguese. We had indeed learned that you, who for a long time had intended to seek out and discover certain islands and mainlands, remote and unknown, and not hitherto discovered by others, to the end that you might bring to the worship of our Redeemer in the profession, not the faith, but the profession of the Catholic faith, their residents and inhabitants. Having been up to the present time greatly engaged in the peace and recovery of the kingdom itself of Granada, was able to accomplish this holy and praiseworthy purpose. So he's saying that because you guys were engaged in this war with the Lord, you wasn't able to go conquer the plan. But they told you that they took a world of fact. And they just was failing, they expressing when they stumbled upon the Americans and all this stupidness. But the said kingdom having at length been regained, as was pleasing to the Lord, you, with the wish to fulfill your desire, chose our beloved Son, Christopher Columbus, a man certainly worthy of and of the highest recommendations is fitted for so great an undertaking, whom you furnished with ships and men equipped for like design, not without the great hardship, dangers, and expenses, to make diligent quest for these remote and unknown mainlands and islands throughout the sea, where hitherto no one has sailed, and they at length, with divine aid and with the utmost diligence, sailed in the ocean sea, discovered certain remote islands and even mainlands that hitherto had not been discovered by others. So they didn't know about these lands. They were to the lab who said we knew about these lands, we inhabited these lands. We had empires on these lands. They weren't allowed on these lands. They weren't invited in these lands. These lands were almost mystery to them. These were mystery lands. Okay? Because we knew that it was their land. And he goes on, Randy, for order of our most holy Lord, so this thing right here, this table right here is basically an indictment. If you ever want to take it that far. Some more images. This is where the Dominicans from. All around the Dominicans out there that think that, that land of Hispaniola, they got divided between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The Dominicans are the priests that come out of the priesthood of St. John. So the Dominican priests conquered that land in his name, so that's why they're Dominicans. They take his time, they're wearing his name. Those Tainos and Arabics over there, under the control of the Roman Catholics, Haiti is too, right? Under the control of the Roman Catholics, but at least they went to war to fight us. They defeated them with the voodoo. You know what I'm saying? With the Moorish occultism, with the magic. Bookman coming out of Jamaica. The opium man. You know what I'm saying? Using our magic. That what? That the Inquisition was erected for to basically torture, destroy, burn at the stake, hang, and made all of our people that was never with the magic because that was the threat to their empire. That's why we moved out. Negro won't even like candle on the full moon. But pray for food. This was the Julian Granada family. I'm going to read the Julian Granada. This was signed after the falling of Granada. But tell me, when I read it, does this sound familiar? The continuation of 1492 contains 67 articles among which are the following. That both great and small should be perfectly secure with their persons, families, and property. But it's not a double talk with that double tongue. That they should be allowed to continue with their dwellings and residence, whether in the city, the suburbs, or any part of the country. That their laws should be preserved as they were before, and that no one should judge them except by those same laws. That their mosques and the religious endowments appertaining to them to remain as they were in times of Islam. That no Christian should enter the house of a Muslim or insult them in any way. That no Christian or Jew who becomes offices by the appointment of the next person should be allowed to exercise his function or rule over them. So, this is a whole bunch of them. But now the way we see the rock is split. After they conquered the pretty passes and doctrine. Now the church will be put right after that. Okay? So this is called the mass conversion of the Moors to what people in Spanish-speaking countries may be familiar with, the Moriscos. The Moriscos are the Moorish Christians who were converted through mass baptism into Christians and given names like what? Alfonso, Jorge, Guadalupe, Maria, Spanish name, from Spain, not from Puerto Rico and other places. You gotta correct that. That came out of Spain. That's a Spanish thing. That's a Spanish thing that they put to these those Moriscos. From Moriscos to Moors, as a result of Carlos Jimenez, who urged his endeavors, it is reported that on 18 December 1499, about 3,000 Moors were baptized by him, and the leading mosque in Granada was converted into a church. Converts were encouraged to surrender their blooded book, sent it down on the which was destroyed by senators in a public bonfire. A few red books or medicine were kept aside for the University of Alcala. Senators claimed the Lord had forfeited all their rights under the terms of capitulations of Granada. They should therefore be given the choice between baptism and expulsion. At Anderlecht, the principal law in which the women and children had taken refuge was blown up with gunpowder. All books in Arabic, especially the Quran, were collected to be burnt. That's why when the Europeans, like last year when they were talking about the public book burning, and they were throwing hand hops across the Muslim world. Right? Because they know the history. That's the declaration of war. They're not trying to see that again. Sailors were not to make garments, nor silversmith jewels after their Moorish fashion. Their baths were prohibited. All persons to be watched by Christian midwives who needed no Moorish rights were performed. What happens in the hospital now? You can't have a person in the house according to them, right? Because they have to make sure it's what? It's their Christian. It's that company that persecuted and employed you. This argument with the people enforced by rigid inspection of licenses. You can't even have a burner or a handgun or a firearm in the world where they can order on the line military equipment in the Army back with no background check. But you can even have a knife that's longer than 5 fingers in New York City. When you lock your ass up. Okay? So the thought of the people and the so-called right to their own started all the way back in. Where doors were to be kept open on feast days. Friday, Saturday, you were ready to see that Moorish rights were abandoned and Christians were observed. No Moorish names were to be used. And they were not to keep God's people unbaptized for either free or as slaves. All right?
Before you go to another thing, I was telling my sister, who works with you tonight, that in order for us to understand what's happening today, we have to
say, yes, if you don't understand your history, you are doomed to repeat. You can break out of the vicious cycle of repeating your history, but you don't even know the history. As a result of false teachers. That's all I'm not here to condemn anybody, but I have to really question our leaders. I'm not no super scholar. You know what I'm saying? I did the research and I came across some stuff. And there's so much more that I can give you. Why hasn't our leaders in all these organizations and these colleges and we go watching all this stuff and special information? Why is it in the public? I mean,
we need to learn how to.
It's more proof of these Christians were burned. Like I said before, a lot of books were not really burned. They burned plaintiffs on some occasions because they were taken. A lot of our information go behind the scenes with it. This is how the colleges were created. They call it transition schools at first. This is how the society started. It's like coming in here and trying to heal, and trying to brother, trying as a dealer, and trying to the wrong, taking all that information and burning the floor up, saying you destroyed it, going around the scene, and 6 years later they're stepping out from behind closed doors and lighting like a mole, like, you know what I mean? Smarter than ever. And you like, oh, they guarantee and stuff like that. They do your stuff. They do the wrong book, like, come on, it's simple. This is talking about the cardinal, New York change. This is right here, Prophet speaks about this. He has it in the book as well. Very, very